Everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of C14 Dating. So we are at the nighttime party, and we're going to ask Shoji to dance. Would Shoji say yes if I asked? Let's find out, shall we? In the back of my mind, I knew this would be a futile attempt, but it couldn't hurt to try. After checking the back room, I navigated to the tent area. The tent beside mine was all zipped up. Did Shoji retire to bed already? Crouching by the entrance, I poked at the fabric, causing the zippers to jingle and the tent to quiver. Shoji, are you asleep? Oh, give me a second. I could hear something snapping and the mattress rustling before he unzipped the tent. As the flap fell, Shoji's eyes met mine, and I gave him a cordial smile. Beside him was a closed e-book in a green cover. Reading? Yes. What you reading? Is it a good book? Just started the first chapter, but it's about the history of the radio. Right now, it's focusing on the 1860s when James Clerk Maxwell wrote equations regarding... Sorry, you probably don't find it interesting, and I'm sure that's not why you came here. I chuckled. Shoji was super quiet until someone directed him to a subject that he loved. Leaning in, I placed my hands on my knees. I didn't mind. I actually came here to ask if you'd like to dance with me. Me? Of course. I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't want to. Trailing off, he became silent, and I thought that he was contemplating my request. After a few moments, he grabbed the e-book and rested it on his lap. He was panicking, but trying not to show it. Don't worry about it. Sorry I sprung this on you. No, it's not your fault. I appreciate it, even if I didn't expect it. I'm sorry for not accepting. Was my approach that intimidating? I felt whenever I tried to reach out to him, I would misstep in the process. Was it something cultural or just our personalities? We really have to stop apologizing to each other constantly. Sorry. After a deep breath, he glanced down and fiddled with the e-book elastic band. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings in any way. If it helps, I'm not sad or angry or disappointed. I asked, you declined. No harm done, Shoji. However, if you ever decide to ask me to dance, I'll always say yes, just in case you change your mind in the future. Is that good enough notice? Yes, thank you. Again, The slip caused me to laugh, and I stood up. I'll talk to you later, Shoji. Enjoy the book. I bit my tongue to avoid apologizing for disturbing him. Darn, that was a tricky restriction. I briskly walked back to Chantal and Joan. Weren't able to find anyone? I tried asking Shoji, but it didn't end well. I figured as much, but I thought that it'd still be worth a shot. The short one? Yeah, I can imagine. I'm lucky enough to get the high out of him, or even the nod when I pass him. It reminds me of Joan in high school. As soon as her name was mentioned, Joan fearfully darted her eyes between us, trying to decide if we were mocking or complimenting her. Chantal giggled and translated to pacify her, and Joan frowned. Never that bad. Not that shy. I will show you. Joan grabbed both my hand and Chantal's and tugged us towards the dance floor. Let's go. You're so pushy. It'll be fun at least. Once the three of us migrate. Okay, so we've seen this part, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip up. And we're back, so it is week 4 on Thursday. I fiddled with the bowl while I waited in the lunch line, listening to the conversation and laughter surrounding me. DeAndre was already retelling the incident, complete with comical gestures to a small group. It amazed me how fast people moved on, although I knew it would be a while before Kyler forgave DeAndre. Scanning the crowd, I felt someone was missing. Sherry was talking to Augustine. Chantal left to recharge her phone. Wait, where was Shoji? Kyler mentioned Shoji back in the lab. Was he involved in the incident somehow? The realization made my eyes dart around frantically. As I stepped closer to the soup pot, there was no sign of him. After a split second of regret, I stepped out of line and placed my bowl on the table. For all I knew, Shoji was simply in the washroom, but it wouldn't hurt to check up on him. He would be more distraught over the event than others might think. I headed for the tent area. Since it was a sunny day, anyone relaxing in their tent would leave the flaps open to avoid getting stuffy. Sprawled on the sleeping bag, Shoji gripped his 3DP and lazily tapped the buttons. When I appeared in his line of vision, his eyes darted to me, deeply startled. He rolled over while I knelt down, and he dropped his hand onto the air mattress. Melissa, I'm really sorry for what happened earlier. I didn't mean to ruin your square. Huh? Oh, no, don't apologize. I wasn't going to demand something like that. Then, well, I didn't see you at the lunch area, and I was worried about you. I wanted to see if you were okay. Shoji pushed his hair back before he adjusted his glasses. He let out a relieved sigh, and his posture relaxed. I thought you'd be upset with me once you heard the news. Why would I be upset? I'm sure you did nothing wrong, Shoji. DeAndre was the one who bumped into the heat lamp, right? But I asked DeAndre to move. I should have waited. It's not as if I urgently needed to wet screen. And Kyler got hurt on top of that. He told me that it wasn't serious, but still. I thought I was getting better at speaking to people. And then this happens. Now everyone will know me as the guy who caused the incident. It was embarrassing. You may think that it's not my fault, but I can't help but worry how others will see me from now on. Say he's overreacting? No, we're gonna reassure him. I shook my head, wondering how he jumped to an absurd conclusion. Kyler was grateful to you. He was more worried about you than his own injuries. I promise no one thinks it's your fault. I don't know all the details, but it sounded like an unfortunate accident. That's all. You're right. Thank you for checking up on me. I constantly blamed myself all morning, and the guilt ate away at me. I usually keep a low profile, and I'm far from conspicuous. Situations like this trip me up bad. I found it mortifying. Have you ever experienced an embarrassing situation? Me? Of course. All the time. I'm pretty outgoing, which means more opportunities to make a fool out of myself. Oh boy, where to even start? I knew Shoji hoped to find stories to relate to. That one time you face-planted during the swing competition, nothing comes to mind right now. The hypoglycemic event. I mean, he was there for that one, so, I guess I don't think that would help as much, plus it's a little different, but this one's kind of funny. Yeah, let's do something funny. I've got a doozy for you. Promise you'll keep it between us? He perked up and nodded eagerly. After placing my elbow on my knee, I rested my chin on my hand. Let's see. I was at the swing camp, and there was a junior Jack and Jill competition. What's that? It means dance partners are randomly selected. It's to test our ability to improvise and read our partner. No fancy moves are allowed. Anyway, I was pairing up with this guy, and things were going well. We were dancing in front of the judges. I let out a breathy laugh. And I'm not sure what happened. I think we read each other's directions wrong. Anyway, I tripped over his leg during the leap and landed face first, breaking my nose. I insisted that I could continue, but everyone freaked out and said that I couldn't dance with a bloody nose. Needless to say, we didn't win. That took place in front of judges? And about a few dozen people. What can I say? I've had my share of slip-ups too. I learned that people don't think about you as often as you believe. The most embarrassing event to you will just be someone's moment of amusement or highlight of the day. Poor guy, though. He felt terrible about the whole thing and even stayed by my side during the ride to the hospital, apologizing endlessly. That must have been awkward for him, too. What happened after? What else? We started dating. You... He trailed off as a chuckle escaped his lips, then started laughing. and shook his head. Whatever anxiety he harbored melted away. I never expected that. Surprise! That's life for you. Even good things can come out of moments where I wish I could crawl under a rug. The only reminder is that my nose upturned after the surgery. People don't usually notice unless I point it out, though. Feel better? I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. Cheering you up, I guess. You are, and you have. I'll try not to dwell on the cave accident so much. Believe me, people moved on pretty quickly. DeAndre's already laughing about it. Only Kyler's being a sourpuss. Then again, when is he not? I'm lucky if I can carry on a natural conversation with him. Ugh, I miss him so much. Shoji patted the hand held next to him. I've talked to Kyler sometimes. He likes to read, and his tent is opposite of mine. You have? What about? Sometimes he asks what I'm reading, or playing, and vice versa. Conversation is slow. We might say something every 15 minutes. Just a comment or a laugh at a scene we enjoyed. I like it. There's no pressure to keep talking, nor uncomfortable silence. Huh. That's a side to Kyler that I did not imagine. Anyway, I'm famished. I stood up and casually wiped my pants. If you want, I can save you a seat if you plan to eat later. No, I can go with you now. He stole a quick glance at his 3DP, and I chuckled, understanding his hesitation. So save. I can wait. Luckily, it only took a few moments, and we both headed for the outdoor kitchen. No, never mind.
Oh, he's blushing. I bet he wants to ask if we're dating that dude still.
What is it?
Are you currently dating him?
Who? I uttered my blunt response before I even registered the question. As you can tell, no, we're not dating. We broke up quite a while ago.
I'm sorry for asking.
Don't worry about it, and stop apologizing for everything, darn it! I elbowed his arm playfully, and he responded with a smile. That little talk seemed to have cheered him up immensely.
He is a total cutie, though.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.